And good morning, or I guess good afternoon. I'm Eric Jingles, and welcome to BuzzLocal.tv. Today we are exceptionally pleased to have Genevieve Lalonde, a very famous person from Moncton, now currently in Guelph, but we're talking to her from Vancouver. She is the Canadian record holder for the 3,000-meter steeplechase, I believe. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at that. I did it. Very good. Genevieve, welcome to BuzzLocal.tv.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. So tell us, what's going on in the Genevieve world?
Been keeping very busy, traveling quite a bit. So I'm currently in Vancouver here for the National Track League. I'm actually not racing my specific event, so I'm not racing a steeplechase, but I'm going to try at a shorter event, so the 1500, and I'll race here in Vancouver, and then I'll travel over to Victoria, race there, and then come back to Guelph for a third National Track League and race a third 1500 there. Mostly just to get ready for our final trials, which will be at the beginning of July. So all of this is kind of steps towards having the best performance at trials, which will therefore qualify me for Rio. So.
Wow. So when's the earliest you could potentially know that you're going to Rio?
On July 8th, around 8 p.m. Mountain Time, I guess, will be the earliest I'll know. That'll be right after the race, and pending how I finish in the race, if I finish top two, then my spot's essentially guaranteed. If I finish in the top half of the race, then I still am likely to make it. But basically, we're just going for to try and make it as simple as possible. So try and win the race, try and get that golden ticket, and then the official team announcement will happen on July 11th, where they'll announce the whole track and field team. So that's when everything is 100% guaranteed.
Wow. Now, I don't want to add any extra pressure to you, but what you must be feeling a lot of pressure. I mean, how can you not? How do you, or maybe you don't. I don't want to make you feel it if you don't feel it. But do you feel any pressure with this trial coming up?
Yeah, but of course, like anything you do, if you don't have that kind of anxiety, it's not something that that you shouldn't be trying, or it's
Sure.
It's not something that you care about. So. Yeah, for sure. Like any other race, you get a little bit stressed, but I mean, I've got a great support network around me, and even though they kind of make this joke about wrapping me in bubble wrap until after the Olympic Games, I'm still able to live my life and to do the things that I love, and so nothing is really holding me back. And at the end of the day, whether I make it or not, it's been an amazing journey, and in the past couple of years, I've gotten to do things that I didn't even think were possible. So I think having those in my back pocket are keys to making these trials better, and also just making this experience such a wonderful journey to be on. So.
Wow. Well, that's an awesome attitude to take. Is at some point, do you take the week off before the big event? Like when you... in your training schedule, is there a rest week or something, or?
I guess so the periodization works where in the fall we do quite a bit of longer distance stuff. So I'll be running upwards of 150 kilometers a week over the span of 7 days, and then usually I'll get 1 to 2 days rest every couple of weeks, and then that works downwards where you kind of aim to specify towards your event. So right now we're doing a lot more specific track work geared towards the 3K steeple. And that includes racing 1500s to get my speed up, and then also doing hurdle work and stuff like that. But heading into trials, we'll decrease that amount of load. So going from maybe 120 kilometers a week down to 80 kilometers a week, just to feel that sharpness and make sure that my body's ready to kind of take that impact, and then heading into trials, I'll be fresh and ready to go. So
Nice.
Yeah, so don't take like a week off, but you definitely taper quite a bit to get ready for those big events. And so you feel all jittery and stuff because you've got a lot of energy, but you still get to run a little bit every day. So that's good.
Cool. Well, why steeplechase? How would you get into that in the first place?
Yeah, so I guess it goes way back to when I was running around at the University of Moncton. I kind of got involved with Charles Babineau was starting a whole group of basically my friends at the time, and invited me to join. And so I'd jump in every now and again, but I was also dancing quite a bit at Dance East, so my schedule was quite busy. And so I'd jump in once or twice a week just for fun. And so that kind of progressed on to moving to a different coach. So then I got coached by Gabe LeBlanc, who's now Athletics New Brunswick's head director. And then again, Gilles Comeau stepped in, and he got to the point where he was like, I don't know what to do with this kid. So I ended up working with Joël Bourgeois, who has been to the Olympics twice in the steeplechase. Now, he didn't actually encourage me to run steeple, and he continues to tell me that every time I call him. But he definitely played a big influence on my running career, and definitely showed me the ropes that way. So once I got to some major championships where I was running the 1500, I knew that it was a great event and it was really fun, but that I wanted to try something else. And so when World Juniors happened in Moncton, I actually talked to Joël, and then I was also at the University of Guelph at that point, training under Dave Scott Thomas, who's my current coach. And Dave has a great group of steeplechasers, and so I asked Dave and Joël, I was like, well, I want to do 2 events in Moncton. If I'm going to go, I want to have more chances to race. So we looked at the schedule, and the only 2 that worked out were the 1500 and the steeplechase. So I gave it a whirl, got World Junior Standard, and then raced it in Moncton, and did really well. So it kind of became my primary event. And every year we go back and forth and just kind of look at what event works best. And I think at this point, I mean, steeplechase has definitely become my event, and I quite enjoyed it. It's like running cross country around the track. You get to have those, like, you get to jump over barriers, and you get to run through water, and it's got that kind of jostling technique, and you never quite know how the race is going to go. So I usually don't even know what my time is going to be until the last 100 meters or something. So it's definitely a really fun event, and I just like getting the crowd involved too. So yeah, it's fun.
I mean, that's 3 kilometers. That's a long way to be running and jumping and sprinting. And is there do you have a strategy? Do you kind of save a little juice to the end, or are you paced 3 kilometers flat out the whole way, or?
Yeah, it depends on the race. It is, yeah, I guess it's a lot longer than some other events, and I feel that definitely in workouts when I get given the longer stuff, and I look at everyone else's workouts and I'm like, oh, why did I pick this event? But so yeah, it is long, but it's a strategy that you can't really replicate in a flat event. So because you are jumping over these things, someone can take off after one barrier if they hit it really well, or if someone hits a water pit really well, then they can use that to their advantage. So in a split second, you'll go from being in a group to being all spread out. So it's something that you just really have to keep your head going. So even though those laps are counting down, you don't really feel it, because you're always so worried about, okay, what's going to happen at the next barrier? So the next 60 meters, what's going to happen? And,
so it's a real kind of a thinking race the whole time, all the way through. Yeah.
So, I definitely know my paces pretty well. So if I hear a split, then I know that it's either too fast or too slow, which is could be a good thing or a bad thing. But in the end, it's mostly just sticking with the group and racing it out. So
nice. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. I know it's early. You're 4 hours behind. You're very coherent. I tend to mumble and blah, 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 at that time of day, but in Vancouver, our fingers are doubly crossed for you and wishing you all the very best and health and safety and fastness. And we really look forward to seeing you going to Rio because we know you'd probably talk to us again, so that'd be great. Anyway, thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. It's Eric Jingles with Genevieve Lalonde live from Vancouver 4 hours earlier. So we're actually living in the future. Thanks for watching BuzzLocal.tv, and we'll see you again. Good afternoon, and welcome to BuzzLocal.tv. I am your host, Eric Jingles, and we have today Mr. Maestro himself, Jae-Young Chung. Jae-Young is from Moncton. He is now I would say, I'm going to call you an international sensation with the cello. And here he is in our studio today. Jay, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
Excellent. So tell us, now you're from Moncton. You grew up here. Now, the first time I saw you play the cello, actually, I think was in middle school here in Besborough, and my jaw dropped. I said, how is this possible? Like, you were so talented, and you've gone on from there. So tell us, and also you're an alumni of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra, are you not?
Yes.
Okay, well, so take us from the youth orchestra to where you are now.
Where to start?
Begin.
Well, first time with the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra, it was sort of my first organization / group that I was part of in New Brunswick. And as much as I'm from South Korea, I was born there, but when it was sort of my first time being with an orchestra that's in Canada, and for me that was sort of I was still trying to learn English at the time too, but it connected instantly, and it's been basically I like to call it my second home, for sure at the time. And I've been doing that for 4 or 5 years.
Wait, sorry, I guess we're gonna have to stop. Robin has come out and say no.
Nothing's showing up for me.
Oh no.
Maybe
You're checking from the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, what might have happened is that we have to get a certain. I think what might have happened is someone took the stream that I had. Like I had set up. Like I have to ask the server, say, where am I going to stream this to?
Oh,
and because I was goofing around so long, one of our community partners might have started streaming and then kind of like interrupted that.
Oh, so
stream.
there's someone else actually on the other side of that?
No, I'm just thinking somebody could have.
Oh, okay.
Like I refreshed it 4 times. And
Okay.
like, there was nothing there. It just kept being like file couldn't load. So
Okay.
I was
Weird.
Yeah, so-
hi.
Hi, Kate. Hey, OT. Hey, come on in. Do you remember Jay?
Hello.
This is Kate. We were just talking about you.
Hi, I'm Robin. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're there, Mick? Oh, okay. Sorry.
I've only met Sarah.
That's trouble.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been very patient because we've had a lot of